Hello and welcome to episode 115 or 115 of Radio Free Endor. My name is Jamie and with me as always is my son Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Really well, thank you. We're back when we said we would be on the same time we was last week. Something's changed. Maybe it's our scheduling.
It is all scheduling. I must admit, I've been sitting downstairs. I've been on my phone making like a little intro and outro, which should play once we finish and once we when we start. Well, it's played when it started, but not all the way across. I don't know why it didn't play all the way across. Maybe I should have checked it beforehand, but at least it played. That's for sure. Maybe it should have been a little bit longer as well. Actually, my intro music would have gone down well as well, but never mind. It's one of those things, isn't it? But it's good to be back talking Star Wars again, especially with the Skeleton Crew, because I quite look for it. I've still not seen the season final because we're going to cover the season final next week, and hopefully we can get a regular guest if he wants to come on and talk about it, which he's still at work, and he did say prior to us coming on that if we're still on when he gets home, he'll give us a chat and join the chat. That's all right. So, Chris, before we go anywhere, should we go over to the news?
Yeah, I don't think there is much news at all since we last.
Well, let's have a look. Shall we go over to the news? Right. Going over to Fantatracks first. Now, did we talk about James Mangold about how he doesn't want to be filled handcuffed with we did cover that. Oh, right. Never mind then. that was the news. I'm only joking. I think that is the news, actually. There's not much.
There is not literally much. It happens quite often, things like this right now. It's like there is one thing that I know I can pull up that I've just got to find.
Okay.
So
I can tell you now that just looking that if you're going to MegaCon Orlando, Jude Law will be there signing autographs, so that'd be quite cool. I've never, now he's part of the Star Wars universe. I'll be definitely getting his autograph because I quite like Jude Law. Quite like him. So he's heading to, on the 6th and 9th of February, you will see him at MegaCon Orlando, arriving at the Orange County Convention Center for a jam-packed 4 days. And joining the action is the villain of the piece, the multi-named pirate we know best as Jod Nerwood. Jude Law, who will be there for the Saturday of the show. Jude Law is joined by previous announced. So Ashley Eccleston, Ron Clint, and Bruce Dallas Howard. Oh, that's nice. Andy Serkis, Dave Dorman, Erin, I can never pronounce the name, and no end of other people. I wonder how much he's charging because it charges quite a bit for autographs. I bet. But
okay, so I found it.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't news, but I think it's really interesting. I guess it does have slight spoilers for the finale episode of the Skeleton Crew, but none so that are very much indifferent to it. And let's give it a shot. Let's give it a discuss.
Okay, here we go.
So,
do
you know who this person is?
Yep, ain't got a clue.
No. So this person, Jasmine Marazi, was actually cast as a Jedi Master in the Skeleton Crew, and it got cut from the production. So you see that she said, "This was the shortest acting job I have ever done, the most meaningful to the child in me. Playing a Jedi for one scene in the Skeleton Crew, I gave a speech when the crew wrapped me on set saying, 'You've just created the first Arab female Jedi. Thank you.' This scene, unfortunately, didn't make it into the final cut because these things happen, but I cannot not share my experience and feelings. Even Liam rehearsed that scene with me, and I got to brag about it when his friends, which got me the coolest mum respect for the moment. So obviously, this is would have been um, Li- uh, Jod's master who would have potentially taught him.
Yeah.
He does say in the final that he didn't have a master for a long time. So obviously, well, they did actually film some scenes with
Oh
it.
man. Well, she's
So
very attractive for a Jedi. They always pick good-looking women, don't they, for Jedi's? Is that who was? Is that her? Oh, is that a costume? Isn't it?
yeah, so that would have been interesting that they let her speak about it. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, you weren't in it, but they obviously set up. So there is lines in the final where George says, and it's not a spoiler because they don't show anything, that he had a Jedi Master who was being hunted during Order 66, and she died very early and didn't give
Oh.
him much of a chance. But obviously, yeah, there was a scene, an actor picked. Could we see them in the future? Maybe. We don't know, but very interesting.
She looks good. She looks really good. What a pity. What a pity it was there. I wonder why
I
it
bet
was
you
deleted.
it would probably be because it would probably be a very short flashback scene to John as a child, but the cost to make the scene would have probably been higher than the what they thought it was going to give. But at the same time, obviously we can discuss this next week when we talk about the final. Did she actually did they need to show it? Because they say about it, but they don't actually show it. And I think there is potential that wherever this goes, wherever Jod goes or whatever, there could be an opportunity to tell that story in the future. But it's just very interesting that obviously they had this surprise actor for one scene in the Skeleton Crew that got left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Yeah, so that was Yasmin Al Mazari.
Yeah. Do you know, that is a pity. She's a very attractive woman, and of course, she would have been and the first Arab, you could say, Jedi. But I don't care where they're from. You know what I mean? It's really good. She was. It's a pity that she's been cut, but you're probably right. For special effects and everything else, it's probably too expensive. And I can understand now because when they film, it depends on the pacing as well of the episode.
Of the
So it
story,
might come
and
down to a point where they go, if we put
it made sense. It made sense in the script to say flashback here, show scene. But then when it got to the cutting room floor, it was like, actually, it doesn't make sense. It reminds me of what is it? The author of Fault in Our Stars. I forgot what his name was. John Green, right? He put up on Instagram Reels or TikTok, one of them, whoever. He was like, "Oh, I get a check every month for his money for the streaming and buying of the DVDs of Fault in Our Stars." And you go, "Oh, but he wasn't in it." but he was the author of the book, was in the film, but he was so bad at acting they cut the scene out. So
Right.
even though he's not in the film because the scene got cut, he still gets a cut of the profits. So there is them things to say that, you know, she would have had a contract. Obviously, she would have still got paid or whatever, but she just didn't make it into the finale overall.
Yeah, never mind. That's a bit of a bummer. That's a bit of a bummer. Do you know what I've been doing for the last couple of days? Is Christopher's gone. Oh well, I've been looking at some fan films, some Star Wars fan films, and one that struck out to me was a film. Hi, Chris, you dropped out there a second. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi. Yeah, so I looked at a couple of fan films only because I was watching somebody else's video and they did a selection of fan films that really should pop up on your radar. Do you know what I mean? And there was one I didn't hear about it. I haven't seen it. I've seen bits of it and I'm going to sit down and watch it. But it's supposed to have some really good lightsaber battles. Now it's called Star Wars Bright Star. And it's a fan-made thing, and it just for let me just whip it back. I've got a bit here. Just show you some of the lightsaber battles. Here we go. Present. Here we go. So this is Bright Star. And it's from over a year ago, right? So it's a year ago this was. Budget costs low, as they're in a forest.
Yeah, but you notice there's something missing on all of these people.
Eh?
Is that the glow of the lightsaber blades?
Yeah.
They're not very much glowing their colors onto the people at all.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do get that, I suppose.
That's a Disney era technology right there.
Yeah, it's because they're actually using
LED
lights.
Yeah, they're just using like Star Wars Galaxy lightsabers, just a bit different.
Beautiful weapon.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. And that is, yeah, Bright Star. Let's just see who it was by. Give them the credit. Archangel Epics, they are. So it was a year ago they put this up. I'll probably put the link where you can see the link there. Archangel Angel Epics. So get yourself over there and have a look at that. I still say the favorite fan film is called Lost Relic. Lost Relic is unbelievable as a fan film. It's really, really good. Really, really good. You don't see many fan films of like Indiana Jones or anything like that, do you? It's always like Star Wars or Star Trek. There you.
Because Indiana Jones is the protagonist when Star Wars doesn't have a protagonist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true. Yeah. So that was it. Somebody's actually done Star Wars Outlaws as a live action from 3 months ago.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. When you go down the route of like fan films, you always see new ones pop up all the time. So look at this one. Star Wars Outlaws live action film. Hey, that's a toy ball you can get from the pound shop.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
me today, little guy. Last time, okay?
Isn't it?
Mm.
Well, some production there.
And it
Hope
will
that's not a
surprise you.
spoiler.
It will surprise you by how many people can make something convincing these days.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Does it belong to one of you?
You're that scoundrel from Wayfar, the one who stole the relic.
Didn't know I was so popular.
Who do you think you are?
Hey, we're all cool here. I was actually just trying to return this, so consider it a peace offering.
It looks quite expensive, this one does, Chris. Isn't it?
Give me that.
Just like on Canto Bite.
Why are those bent?
What? I touch you better than that. We don't have time for this. Try again. This time the keys.
I don't want to have to.
That's pretty cool. Who's that by? Oh. That bloody game. Keeps popping up. So that is by let's have a look. By Devin Super Tramp. Devin Super Tramp. It's had 3 months ago, and it's had 257,000 views. That's it. Yeah. That is not, but it says, just seeing it now. Thank you to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. There we go. There was a reason why there's some money behind it. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess,
Cool.
if we're just talking about things in general, I think there's one more thing that I just wanted to highlight that I thought it was really cool video. And sometimes these like critical pieces get released on the internet, and people can decide what they want about them. So, so if you just show my screen.
Oh, okay.
Please. I really recommend watching this video by this YouTube channel called Full Fat Videos, and it talks about like the worst lightsaber duel ever. And he's done many videos where he talks about the best lightsaber duel, but he speaks about the worst lightsaber duels. And something that he put together that I really realized was, ever since Disney has bought Star Wars,
yeah,
how many lightsaber colors have you seen?
Oh, right. Here's a good one. So, red, purple. Oh, so
No, you've not seen purple. Yeah,
since Disney bought it.
Yeah.
Right.
So new lightsaber colors.
Right. So,
red,
blue, green.
When did you see green? You seen green once in
Luke,
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, yeah.
Luke's, okay,
silver,
so that doesn't count. So take his out.
Yeah. Silver. Yeah.
Ahsoka had them before. Take them out.
And black. The Mandalorian, with the dark saber.
That was already. But what he was saying that I thought was really interesting is that Disney has this like massive thing for blue lightsabers. And when you realize it, it's like if you look at all of the stuff that we've seen, even Skeleton Crew, what color's the lightsaber in that? Blue.
Blue.
It's like it's almost became this like. He was saying that it's almost became this like Disney thing where it's like bad guy is red, good guy is blue. Yeah, but what about green? Who needs green lightsabers? We got blue lightsabers. Everyone knows blue lightsabers.
Yeah.
And I do want to criticize the video a little bit because he doesn't mention the acolyte anywhere, and maybe that's because some of the lightsaber duels in that are okay. Take the story out, the lightsaber duels are okay. So, it's this thing, but what was really interesting that I think it's worth listening to and watching is him saying things like, obviously, when they brought out, when Disney brought Lucasfilm, they changed how the lightsabers were being built, when they were being filmed. And obviously you see that from, yeah, there we go. It's here.
God, yeah.
There you
Blue.
go. Obviously, no, but also they put these glow on them. They compared to what they had before pre-Disney, it was all done in After Effects, post effects. But considering what they did in the Disney era, every lightsaber has been these LED versions.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the reason one of the things that may be one of the reasons why a lot of the Disney era lightsaber battles have been fundamentally worse is because the blades that they are swinging around are now a lot heavier. So meaning that they're slower and it's harder to have that episode 3, 1, 2, 3 kinetic motion.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between the original trilogy where they're very, delicate things to the prequel trilogy where they're like, crazy fast, and now you hit this middle area.
Yeah, well, in the prequel, when they were filming it, because it was so kinetic and fast, they kept breaking them. They kept breaking the sticks. They were whacking the sticks so hard together, they broke them.
Yeah.
So they had no end of them spare, so they just chucked them a new one and they carried on. Yeah, but you're right. In this one, in the Disney era, they want that light effect on them all, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it gives a different look. And it does, And also, he talks about this scene as well. And they all give different looks to previous. And you can see that. And it's like instantly, as soon as he said about it, it's like when I was watching that fan film that you just spoiled, I was like, oh, yeah, they got no glow on them lightsabers. So you think, oh, yeah, it kind of makes sense. These, light objects are producing this, but also how hard it is to actually get that effect naturally. And I think it's one of these things where, the sequel trilogy, Disney as a whole, have pushed forward the Star Wars universe in some ways really well, like cinematography. But at the same time, it's taken steps back in terms of like that speed, ability, and he obviously speaks over the Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader fight in the Obi-Wan TV show, and even it talks about the saber jewels in the sequel trilogy, and to me, actually, when watching it, I was like, this gives me a little bit of respect for this kind of, if you take away the story side of it, there's a lot of respect for the mediocre jewels, but the what they're trying to go for is quite interesting. And it's like, because he even speaks about Ahsoka and all the things. So it's not just the films, and I think it's really interesting. That is a YouTube channel I really recommend subscribing to. Full Fat Videos. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I've not, but I'm just watching it here. And to be fair, the lightsaber battles are always quite good, even in the appalling Disney era films. Like Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. We give that a sort of pass, but everything else, nah, right? They're still quite good. They are kind of fast, but that one where she's fighting those red guards.
Yeah.
There's some of the guards. If you watch those guards, they sort of hang back and just swing a couple of times.
Yeah.
Ready for like their.
It's like if you're slowing it down to like nitpick or find cuts in the movement, you're beyond the point of what it's trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But there's some things that I can say, and not that Disney have done lightsaber duels wrong since taking over. They feel very different to the rest of them, and that video really helped show me the how they're different, because they were swinging different blades in the acting stage. They are very different in everything else. And I think that's really, really just quite an interesting video to watch. Another YouTube channel I think is really good and worth watching is this one called The Gold Man. I think they're really good as well, because they talk about each season of the Clone Wars, in Skeleton Crew, and it's really, really quite fun YouTube channel to watch. They're my 2 recommendations for people to watch: the Goldman and Full Fat videos.
Yeah, what went wrong? Why it's great. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? I'll tell you what, just one more thing that we were talking about now. Sort of getting away from the news. Let's say that was the end of the news. Shall we move on? So as always, we've been talking about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What is it called? Great Circle. Yeah. So I'm still playing it. I've just left Giza and I'm now in the Himalayas. And then as soon as I started that level, I decided to take a trip back to Giza because I hadn't finished there, which got me a trophy for sort of like rewind or something, or rebagging stuff. Now, do you know some of the things? I've just done one scene where Indy cracks open the statue of Ra, and it's like I'm just so good. But thing is, I've just seen the making of it on YouTube as I'm just scrolling through this, and I was just going to see if I could just find it and just show it you. Liked videos because I've just liked it. Nope, subscribe, nope, shorts, nope. I can't seem to find it. It's weird. Can't seem to find it. It was how they I'm gonna have to just look it up in the behind the scenes. Yeah, behind the scenes. Indiana Jones, right? With Troy Baker. So this is it. Is it this one here? No. Oh yeah, here it is. So I'm amazed how Troy Baker was so good in this. Just skip that. And how much it's him.
Who is Laura?
Tell me why you've taken my sister.
Now you're overlooking Lex Parsimonier. Always choose the explanation with the fewest assumptions.
I'm not assuming anything. Just tell me where she is before I put a bullet into your gut.
You're assuming she didn't join my cause.
I've just done this.
Revolution. You are.
I'm telling you, he is the best. He's the best Indiana Jones villain ever.
He is the best Indiana Jones villain.
She's happy where she is.
Dr. Jones, let me tell you.
No.
Gina. Now that I have their undivided attention, you are welcome to proceed.
It's so good, isn't it? It's like everything's motion cap. That's why that game looks so good. And you saved me, Anführer. Ha!
Sie haben mir das Leben gerettet. Bitte, die Oberst.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah, a lot goes into a game.
Lebensinhalt.
Yeah. I'm just so amazed with this game. I just love it so much. I found it. I've just found it. This was it. That's at a stage. This is the bit. This when you leave sort of Giza.
And I play Indy. It's humbling playing a character that so many people, myself included, look up to. As a kid, seeing Indiana Jones in the theater for the first time.
You know, I don't think he's playing Indy. I think he's playing a mocap guy.
I never would have guessed that all these years later, I would be the one wearing the hat. But here I am. It's been a dream come true. A dream that I cannot wait for you to live for yourselves.
So good. So good. If you haven't got that game yet, please go out and get it. It's so good.
Not on PlayStation yet.
Not on PlayStation 5 yet, but it will be. It will be. Yeah. But yeah.
There's always time for Microsoft to pull the deal.
And
hope that I don't change it anymore.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, I'm so invested in it. I must admit, I got up quite early today to do a lot of jobs. and my wife was in bed. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to put a bit of Indiana Jones on. Since it was like 8 o'clock, I thought, yeah, right. So walk the dog, come back. I thought, yeah, let's do it. And then I played and played and played. And at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my Nikki went, I'm kind of bored of this. Can we put something else on? I was like, yeah, okay. That was all.
You're bored? I'm not bored.
But I wasn't bored. No, I was quite entertained. But I'm like you. I like going around picking every little photo, every little thing, every little map. You know what I mean? But those Germans to beat up in the boxing ring, my God, I'm so struggling with them. Even though I've got I collected so much money, I bought the guides, so I didn't really have to beat them up to get the money to buy the guides. I bought them anyway. Do you get a trophy for beating them up? Do you? I don't know.
Well, it's part of the completionist achievement.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to. Trouble is, it's so hard. Every time I want to throw a punch,
the difficulty.
I just kept push it, and then lower and put it back up once I finished it.
I played the game on the hardest difficulty and beat them right at the end. I waited until I was at the end. And I was like, I don't need your money. It's going in the donation boxes. But I need to beat you.
The other thing as well is, when you put the hat on, he's got like 5 energy bars, and then when he puts the Nazi uniform, he's only got 3. And I think, hey, what's up with this? Is this hat and his jacket like bulletproof? If you watched Dial of Destiny, yes, it is.
Yeah. That's the
Strange.
thing. But it's good fun. And you've not completed the Himalayas, have you yet?
Yeah, I've just literally, just as when the cutscene finished from landing, I went back. I went, stay right here, love. I'm going back.
You should know by now. As soon as you go to enter a big tomb, that's the like next point of the story.
And that point where you have to clobber a giant that's walking around in the dark. Oh my!
Did you use my tip this time?
What was that?
Use the gun. You forget you have a gun, right?
I did use the gun, but he found me every time. I was like, bang, 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 and they were like, it got me. And I kept running off. I mean, and then because the place is covered in gold, you kept going ching, 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 ching. It was like, God. Yeah, so you have to sneak around. And then he kept turning off the lights. So I had to keep on pressing the lights.
He was blind.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good though.
Yeah,
it was good.
It
was so good.
I would say you're about I think about 50% through. I think once you finish the next 2 areas, you're probably about 65-ish. Because you basically have a few guided areas and one big open world bit. So there's 3 open world and then connecting levels. So you basically have 2 levels that follow each other, then another open world, and then the final level. And obviously that's still another 30-40 hours depending on how you play it. So it's all good.
It is, yeah, it is cool.
Yeah, I guess the only question I have so far is, which one was a better area, do you think? The Giza location or the Vatican?
Giza easily, because it was Egypt. I mean, it was good to look around and everything. And now I've just found that English professor, and he's got to. I've got to go and rescue his lad, his lad. Yeah, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of the things. But if you've already got the Nazi outfit, that makes it so much easier because you can just walk through everyone.
Oh yeah, I've got that. That was the first thing I got. I knew where to get that, so I went and got it. Yeah, it was good.
It's good.
Right, so that's the end of.
Did you find Fight Club in Giza? That's the other question.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Because there was a Fight Club in Vatican as well.
I know. I couldn't beat that guy. I beat the first guy, but I didn't beat the second guy. Yeah, but I'm collecting so much money. I'll just buy that. Just buy the stuff. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the roundup of Indiana Jones till next week, and the news, and that brings us on to looking at the Skeleton Crew. Wow, Skeleton Crew. So we're going to go below decks with the Skeleton Crew. So today we are going to review have a look at Zero Friends again. That's episode 6. And episode 7, we're going to be in so much trouble. How many times have I said that in my lifetime? A lot. Right, so start off with Zero Friends again. Jod and SM-33 are captured by the pirates and Pocket. The pirates take Jod and SM-33 back to Brutus for execution. Meanwhile, the children drop out of Renard's lair into the bottom of the resort. KB reveals she's memorized at Atin's coordinates. A subsequent argument over how to reach the Onyx Cinder results in Fern and Neil trying to ascend the mountain while Wim and KB follow a group of seamlessly friendly little crabs. Jod saves himself and SM-33 by bribing Brutus with the location of Atin. Well, let's leave it there. Yeah, let's leave it right there with that. What did you reckon to this episode, then, Chris? I'm always what you thought of this one.
You know, I thought it was quite interesting. I think how the episode starts is very funny with Jod opening a hatch onto the landing pad.
Yeah.
Decked out with all this gold in his pockets.
Yeah.
And then you also see SM-33 with a lot of gold as well.
Get him, SM-33.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Yeah, I thought this was I wouldn't say a more boring episode because so much happens that I think is so important, but these episodes obviously show how the crew are very much, they still like Jod, but he betrayed them, you know, mutiny.
Yes.
But they still like him, you know what I mean? It's just like Captain Jack and the Black Pearl. It's like they all hate him, but also kind of like him. And
yeah,
I think it was good. I overall thought it was a really good episode.
So this is the bit where he suddenly pops up.
I was coming to find you. Down there is the biggest pile of loot you will ever lay your eye on.
Say that, Silpho. You're going straight to Captain Brutus. Let's go.
Wait, that's just a taste. I'm in line for something even bigger. I'll cut you in.
33! Attack!
Oh.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just funny. Like, he says his eye, because obviously he's cybernetic. His other eye is removed for his implants.
Yeah,
and I think it's quite funny. And obviously, you see Pollock standing there. You see them take him, obviously, back to the ship. They take his lightsaber. And yeah, they're led away. But they don't really care about the ship that was there. They don't care about the Onyx Cinder because they don't know it's the Onyx Cinder at this point.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they don't.
This is where you also then see the return of the bad guys, the X-Wings.
Yeah, in this?
Yeah, they're in this episode because they start shooting the pirates as they escape.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah,
because you know they're pirates, and the New Republic are anti-pirate. They do have some good people in the fleet, you know.
Yeah.
Good job it's not Captain Tevin Carter. Someone else.
Yeah. So basically, they go board. They take Jod back to
the frigate.
The frigate, yeah. And just trying to, because both of them are very much. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So they take Jod back to the frigate for questioning. Meanwhile, the kids get split up because they're looking for the way. Like I said last week, how did they not know that thing that they fell down was not going to kill them? And they just literally just popped out
Just a
into
guess.
scrap
That's
pile.
just TV.
That's just lazy writing for a pirate trap. You know what I mean? Oh, we'll stick spikes, acid, and everything else. But I tell you what, this one straight out the back. Exit through the gift shop. You know what I mean? But they have a bit of an argument, don't they? And they decide to split up.
But they split up differently to what's typical.
Mm.
You have Neil and Fern, who don't trust the crabs,
Mm.
and then you have Wim and KB who do, and then they start splitting up. Fern and Neil start climbing up to the Onyx Cinder because they can see it sitting on the cliff edge.
Yeah.
So Neil obviously attempts to solve the conversation, saying that they need to work together to get back to the ship. Wim says the crabs, and Fern says climbing up to the ship. So they split up along that path, and the pair go in obviously opposite ways. And this is actually quite good because it splits up that core boys versus girls.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
into different pairings.
But KB's having problems with their cybernetic augmentive thinger. So, and then she sort of fixes herself, and she talks about the accident, doesn't she, that she had when she was a very small child. And when they pop that thing out, that Wim pops that thing and pulls that massive like drive out of her head, I'm like, whoa, she hasn't got a brain whatsoever. Is she fully like cybernetic, the whole thing? Right? And then he just unplugs it. I'd be scared to unplug bits. You know what I mean? Just in case she goes, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And then she makes like some gold and stuff like that. And those crabs.
So first they need to find some scrap to repair it, and they, because if they don't repair it, she's going to die. So Wim actually needs to be a hero. He actually needs to save her and help her out, and they obviously do that. And I think that was a really good bit of storytelling overall. And Wim wanted to be this hero that was, like a Jedi, like very outbound, very seen, very much a warrior of justice, but has failed every opportunity, got scared and ran away, or But what you see here is actually him actually saving someone,
becomes the hero.
Go out of his way in a different way to what he thought a hero looked like.
Yes,
I think that's really quite good. And then she says to him after, she says, like, you're a hero, you saved me. And they say that the reason they split up from KB's side was because Fern doesn't treat her as the same that what she can do, and KB can't do things Fern can do. And she doesn't realize that a lot of the time.
Yes. Yeah. It's you got to remember that she is disabled, you could say, even though her augments make her really one of those key members of the group, because she can do a lot more than the average one of the kids can do. And it's a pity that a friend was really taking advantage of her, to tell the truth. But that's all resolved in this episode. And even Neil and Fern, when they're climbing, he's scared, and she drops him. She ties him to her, doesn't she, to help him because he's scared of heights. And they get up there.
She has to realize that he's failing, that he's struggling to continue, and she does, and helps him out. But yeah, it's that thing where it's really good bit of character depth of each of the characters, of a bit of humanity, a bit of struggle. I think the only character that's not developed as much as everyone else is actually Fern. I think Neil gets more development, KB gets more development, Wim. When Fern just kind of chucks Neil a line, and that's about it. And I think she doesn't have a lot of that development as much as the other characters do in this episode, but she has had a lot of development in other areas when she obviously became the captain and decided to take these risks and trying to take control of the ship and all these kind of things. So I think maybe she needed it less. And this is actually interesting because you get to the next point of the story where obviously Neil and Fern are climbing and they see these X-fighters start attacking the pirates. And then you see KB and Wim looking at it as well, and you see the ships fly away. And then of
course, the just as they're about to reach the Onyx Cinder, it gets transported away for scrap. It gets it, but they jump for one of the tugs and make it. But then it clicks back to the pirate frigate, and Judd is trying to get himself not chucked out of a airlock, and this is what he says.
Just like the creds them brats were flashing. I told you they were real.
They're real. And I know where they make them. I know where they make them because I heard it from Tack. Renner Tack.
Rennet is dead.
Tack Rennet soared away aboard the Onyx Cinder.
Don't look. Yeah, we don't want that one. Yeah. So he starts coming out of this pirate chant, and it is a proper pirate chant, and they all join in, and he gets a relief. They don't chuck him in the airlock because he goes around he says to all the pirates, "Don't know, you wanted that fish farm." And you wanted that plantation, and you're saving up, and they were like, oh, they're all like just doing a job, and they're saving up for retirement. It's nice, but he gets, like I say, he doesn't get executed, and Brutus goes, okay, let's go, and so they're off to at him because he knows where it is, and then you go back to Wim and KB, who are following the crabs. Now these crabs are quite cute. They're all going follow, but basically they're just repeating what Wim's saying. So he goes, oh yeah, they look like friends. Yeah, friends, follow us. Now I tell you what I loved about this scene is I did not know when they get to the big bad of this, the big crab, it was stop motion. Did you know that, Chris?
Yeah, I think I saw something. But obviously, crabs are something that the Star Wars universe loves, but they were sadly not the Noti.
Yeah,
on the Ahsoka TV show that Ezra was hanging out with.
What?
The Noti? Do you not remember
the
them?
Noti?
Yeah, they were in the Ahsoka TV show.
Yeah,
you know,
the
Caravanners.
Yeah, the Caravanners. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but they're in a totally different galaxy. We gotta remember. So this is it.
Yeah.
The way that we approach the design process on Tetanus, the mama crab, Doug basically said to me, like, okay, it's a giant kind of crab monster.
Tetanus.
It puts stuff on its back. A lot of this trash is rusty. We
and
thought of
if you touch it and you get cut, you could get tetanus.
There's a running joke about the puppet's not actively trying to kill you, then we're not making it right. Someone was bound to get tetanus if they weren't paying attention around her.
I really wanted to make sure that when we were putting the junk on it, it wasn't just random stuff. I actually tried to use as many little bits from model kits that were used on the original films. All the junk on the legs is actually from those molds of original model parts that were used on the Millennium Falcon.
There's an R2-D2 on it, and a
C-3PO.
R2-D2. Oh, there he is.
He's in there all rusted up. And we actually even made him so that he's animatable, so you can move him around. So there's a little C-3PO over here. We made him so we could move his little hand.
Hi, I'm C-3PO.
There's a K2SO. Oh, I think that might be him right here.
Congratulations.
This piece right here is actually one of the walker feet from the scrap walker. I just elongated it and jammed it in there. Tetanus is about 12 pounds. Definitely the heaviest stop motion puppet we've ever worked on. So heavy, in fact, that we had to build suspenders for it.
All said and told, with the crazy rig that we ended up building to hold her up, there's around 70 plus joints that can be moved. And in all honesty, most of them are moving all the time.
Yeah, I wanted to make Phil proud on this guy, so we used a lot of his tricks. Phil likes the weird. Like, his monsters are like weird. There's a proportion to Phil Tippett's creatures that are undeniably his. It's just you and me, baby.
There you go.
How cool was that? How cool was that? Stop motion. I didn't realize it was, but there you go. And there you go. A clap on behalf of us fans. Well done. You did a hell of a job there. Hell of a job. Yeah. So basically, you know, it's going to eat the kids, and then lo and behold, the tugs pulling the Onyx Cinder comes on, smashes it, and they jump on and escape. How cool is that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but where do they end up?
No, they don't escape. They because the ship is still on the planet, and they've not been managed to take off yet.
No. I've actually got that clip. It's so cool. Where is it? This is it. All right. So we'll play this and we'll talk through as we go along. So they find the Onyx Cinder and they get on board, but it's slowly being eaten by this big, massive machine that melts all the metal. It's like a recycling machine. I couldn't help but feel like this was a bit like, do you know the bit in Toy Story 3? The Toy Story 3 where they thought they were all going to die?
Wait, KB, who's going to fly the ship? You.
Yeah.
Oh, what, me?
Yeah, I thought it was just like that.
Just do it again.
There you go. And I was thinking, how are they going to get themselves out of this? So they press the button for detonation. She's going to press it. No. Good job she can plug herself in, Nick, can't she? Push that button.
It's not working. It's jumped on too hard. Engine's overheated.
Uh-oh. Oh, look at him. Little Neil. Push it. What did you reckon to the scene, Chris?
I
thought it was great. You know, with all those little explosions.
Yeah, like, I thought it was pretty good. There's only one thing about the Onyx Cinder that confused me.
Yeah?
And it still does to a certain extent. But I figured it out. Is where is the cockpit on that ship?
It's on the side still, just there.
Yeah. So whilst it looks like a symmetrical ship, it's not actually symmetrical.
No, it's got the cockpit on the side.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, where the hell is this cockpit? And I just had to Google it. I was like, because, you know, it's kind of a bit hard to realize sometimes. And it's like, yeah. It's on the side.
Yeah, I thought that as well. It took me ages to figure out, where was it? Where's the cockpit on it? I kept looking at the front going, I even had a look on the Lego version thinking, where's the cockpit on this? But no, it's on this side. It's like bitty on the side.
So do you think you're going to get the Lego set?
Somebody's already not brought it out, but they've designed it. I don't think if I If I looked
Well,
for
I
it.
mean the undestroyed version. The
Oh no, not at all.
no.
No, it
What do you mean?
that model didn't really appeal to me as it was. I was like, am I in it or am I not? I don't know. Is it a
It's
good model?
crazy. Someone reviewed that model, that Lego set, 6 months ago. The TV show is not 6 months old.
No. So when did they bring it out?
I don't know, but yeah, it was a summer 2024 set. So that's crazy long ago. But yeah, even I was like, I'm confused where the carpet is on this. And then obviously, yeah, you know, when you see it, you're like, now it makes sense. And do I prefer it before or after? Well, that is the true question.
I found it. It's the new Onyx Cinder. So it's somebody's built this, yeah, and stuck it on. Wow. I'll just put it on here. Right. Look, that's not that one. Right. Oh man, major pop-ups. Hold on a second. So somebody's made it. Here it is. Dush. So somebody's redone it, done the kit on Republic Bricks, and they want 151 quid for it. 151 quid. That's unbelievable. Let's have a look. It looks quite nice though. I'd like to see what size it is. That's underneath. And look at the. See if we can do this. That's it. Look how big the cockpit is on it. Look. And you're paying £151 for it? I don't think so. It looks pretty cool though. It does look cool, to be fair, but that cockpit is nah.
Yeah, I think this is a contester where you'll probably see a Master Series that potentially has the armor plates that you'll put over the normal ship.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, is it a cool ship? Yeah, like it's definitely a cool ship. But apart from its shape, it feels very boring.
Yes, it is.
You know, and the reason I say that is because what other ships are something very similar. You know, your Naboo ships. You know, you could say they're quite similar. You know, they're just grey as well. Yeah, but they're at least shiny. You know, so it's something a little bit different. When it's just like, it just kind of feels like it blends in a bit too much. The shape, really cool. But the color scheme, not for me. But I think this might be a thing where if there is ever a season 2 or you see these people in, you know, Dave Filoni's future films, you may have a different paint scheme on it. Because I'm not saying like criticism, because I do think the ship looks like the shape really cool, but it just feels so one-dimensional, all in grey, when obviously things like the Ghost are more silver, white, bit of oranges. You know, the Falcon is brown, grey, white. You know what I mean? It feels much more colorful, and obviously these were miniatures themselves. The ships were miniatures. So I'm not doubting that they're not cool. I would just like to see a different paint scheme on that thing. I think it would go a lot further in terms of the rankings.
Yeah, because even the Mandalorians, the Razor Quest, has got like I'm just looking at it now because I've got it on my shelf. It's got like white lines, yellowy lines down it to give it a bit of, you know, not all silver. And you notice the Onyx Cinder, it's silver. It's silver. Perhaps that's a nod to Long John Silver, or perhaps I don't know. But it's still, they do like their silver ships. Anyway,
yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong in any way. Like, it looks cool. It just feels very much like I don't know, when like you're looking at photos and you see this on things like Wikipedia right now as well. It's like the photo of it is of the ship taking off from that scene on a grey background of a grey ship. We like, oh yeah, it's there. You know what I mean?
It's there. Yeah, it's there.
So I think it's definitely one of them things like, I think give it a bit of spice of life in the Star Wars universe, and I think it would go up a lot more.
Yeah, well, we'll see
But
where it goes. Yeah, with this
we
one.
will definitely see.
So that brings us onto episode 7, because it follows straight on. Called "We're Going to Be in So Much Trouble." So the parents send a transmitter into outer space, but are discovered by the security droids. The pirates arrive at Atatin. The pirates, arrive at Atatin at the same time as the Onex Cinder, resulting in the latter's capture. The pirate garb is sent into the barrier, but his ship is destroyed by its defenses. Realizing the Onex Cinder is the key to bypassing the planet's defensive barrier, Jod kills Brutus when the children's incapacitate him. He resumes his former captaincies and tells the pirates to conceal themselves until he obtains the location of the planet's vault. Right. So this is really good. So they arrive at Atatin, and it's covered in that complete green cloud. And they say, yeah, it's got defenses. So this guy goes down. He goes, I'll volunteer straight away. I'll volunteer. I'll do it. Goes down, and he goes between those big, massive processes that are in the cloud and gets destroyed. Now, I got a funny feeling. Now, I think I might have mentioned this to you when we saw them at that other planet. That other, what was it called? Not Atatin. It was at
Akron.
Akron, yeah. And then you could see them just hovering above the planet. I reckon they are the Operation Cinder. Definitely Operation Cinder, but they've got 2 functions. One of them is to hide, and one of them's to destroy. Yeah. So,
or that's the Empire taking old technology and converting it. Yeah. I think they're very similar, like in the aspects. But the one thing I did notice, and I think this was obviously something that I'm not sure everyone did notice or not, but the planet was so much smaller than the optical illusion.
Yeah, the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was like, what? It's like when they went through the barrier, there was the planet really in the middle of it. Like, I was like, last week they came out of the planet and then they're in space. I'm like, what? But opposite way. No, it's totally different the opposite way. Coming out, easy. Going in, not so easy.
Well, it did jump to hyperspace pretty much instantly, though.
True, very true. Yeah.
But I think that's a really interesting question as well. It's like, as we're talking about this episode, is like, why did the ship need the armor? Because obviously, they destroy it. One, how do they get access to the ship? If this ship could get through the barrier, and that is because in this second episode they say it's because the ship is from Atin. Why they need to put armor on it?
Yeah.
It's to hide it. It's to protect it from other pirates. Okay, tick.
Yeah.
But how do they get the ship in the first place? How long has the ship been there? And my theory with this is it's not a ship from Atatin, but it's actually a ship from maybe at Akron or one of the other destroyed planets, and they've made the connection. Because obviously, if this ship was from Atatin, they would have had to get through the barrier to steal the ship. And if they hadn't been,
right.
If that ship's been laying there for ages or whatever, then so long it's been like a fable, then it's that thing where it's definitely, to me, feels like it is a ship from the Atatin systems, but not to me. I don't think it's from Atatin. I think it's probably from one of the sister planets that had a similar barrier system that fell.
I think you're dead right. That sounds really, that sounds plausible. That because we all know he went to that other planet because he took off the coordinates. He recorded the coordinates, cut it off, and he got the ship. You know what I mean? He got the ship from there, of course. Hid the ship.
Did he destroy the last? Because this is the other question about it as well. It's like we never saw how that planet got destroyed. Because technically, if he knows it's a barrier, he could just start shooting the barrier. You know, to take it down and then steal a ship to go to the next planet that he doesn't want to destroy the barrier, but wants to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think obviously, it's a ship from them systems, Old Republic, but I don't think it's specifically from Atatin because it would to me, it would kind of say like, who was this pirate if he was trying to get to this planet, but also could get away from it? And then the only answer is it was someone from that planet that escaped. But we don't know these things overall.
Yeah, perhaps it's, considering that Disney like to explain everything, that's one thing they've not explained. But I like it because it gives you fan theory. Theory time, fan theory, and I quite like that. So the kids get pulled in. If the kids arrive, when the pirates are sort of scratching their heads, like, what we're going to do here? And then, of course, Jod goes, that ship is the key. So they tractor beam in. And as Brutus walks up to it, because the kids put on this scary voice, release us.
Well, you forget what I swear SN33 does the thing. Oh, we're tractor beam, can't do anything.
yeah, that was it. Yeah, tractor beam, we're done. Yeah. That was it. Which was it? It was this episode, wasn't it? When
it also happens at Akron, where it's like, autopilot, can't do anything here.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So basically, tractor beam was stuck. They get pulled in, and they do some scary voices to stop the pirates from boarding. But Brutus goes up, of course, and that hydraulic, like four-lift hand claw grabs him. He drops his blaster, and of course, Judd walks up and shoots him in the head. He goes, "Hey, guess what?" And he uses the old his same words he said before. He goes, "Guess what? He's sentencing him to death for mutiny." Yeah, he said that quite a bit. Mutiny. He said it to SM33 as well. Guess what? Mutiny. You know what I mean? So he takes his rightful place as back as captain, and he tells the crew, "Yeah, just go on the ship. You'll find 4 scared children." And they'll go, "Okay, no worries." So they get on board and they get the kids. And in the meantime, the parents do get a signal into the atmosphere, which is quite good because it starts off with that scene, doesn't it, where they're being chased through like a relay run, who can launch the little thing that just kind of resembled E.T.'s ship, maybe. Or if you watched the original Black Hole, the ship in the black hole looks like that. And they managed to shoot it up. And of course, all the droids with the cameras on the reds catch them, like, "You're in a lot of trouble now." You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And of course, the signal gets out of the barrier, which is kind of weird. That managed to escape the barrier, didn't it? And Jod and some of the crew watch the hologram that plays with all the parents saying, "Kids, you're not in trouble. I mean, we just want you home." And Jod goes, "Yeah, this is interesting. This is," and he goes, "Bring them aboard the ship. We'll have them as hostages." So he puts them on the ship, and is it at that point where they're on the ship that Fern says to SM33, goes, "I claims is the right of captain," and he goes, "You can't do that." And SM33 goes, "It's close enough to me."
Well, it says you can only be captain of one ship. The pirate code is you can only be captain of one ship at a time, and you're already the captain now of the frigate, meaning you can be captain of the. That means Fern could be captain of the Onyx Endor, and then I think he challenges her or something, and then Something punches him around in the face.
Yeah. That was it, because they managed to escape, don't they? They blast out of the pirates thing, and Jod just happens to get on the Onyx Cinder, and that's when he says, "Oh, it's close enough to me." I think I might have that clip actually. Let's just see. Let's click it in. Share my screen. Here we are. Here we go.
Is that really it? That hand looks huge from up here. They made.
Oh, we're being locked into an autopilot landing sequence.
Just like on Hannah's planet. My mom totally lied on that call. We're gonna be in so much trouble.
This, to be fair, this where it goes quite dark.
Well,
He was already dark before this scene.
Ollie. Stay with our kids, I'll handle this.
Oh dear. I'm not going to get that action figure now.
Oh, they're going to sell it you in 2 halves, don't worry.
Get on the ground! Down! Keep your heads down. And no talking.
Did you think you were going to stand on it? I thought he was going to.
I don't know, because if he would, he's gone true evil. But something tells me that he is a bad guy,
I'm on board the Onyx,
but almost doesn't want to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think how this episode goes and ends, and how the next episode ends, it goes through. I think it shows that he doesn't necessarily want that path potentially, but feels like it's the only path that matters.
It's on auto.
Shut up! Your incessant, unending, jabba. Honestly, it is unbearable.
Leave him alone!
All of you, not just him. All of you. You're the worst one.
I love the music.
Poor boy. What? 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 What exactly are you going to do?
You're all weak. Weak, sheltered, spoiled children. I've got a terrible headache and 0 patience left. So
I wonder why he's got a terrible headache.
let me think.
Did they have headache pills in Star Wars?
I don't know, but he got clobbered one pretty hard.
It did, didn't he?
And you lot, I'm not going to say a word. Not one word. You understand? You're going to follow my lead. If I get even a hint that any of you are thinking otherwise.
Blue lightsaber.
That's all they have.
You know, I enjoyed seeing your parents' faces on the comm earlier. Makes it very easy for me to know who to carve up. I will.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, Ray. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Doesn't look good for him. Doesn't look good. Do you know what? Jude Law is so good as a bad guy. But I was like, no, man, I want you to be a good guy, please.
Doesn't want to be a good guy.
Oh, we got a message here. Let's just see what this. Fan of Waterfalls. Love your guys' take and talk. Can't stay now, but we'll listen later. Good. Keep up the good work, and may the force be with you. May the force be with you too. Fan of Wonderfalls. It was nice to see you, and I'll give you a nice star to say, yep, we acknowledge you. There we go. Yeah. It's like, oh man, I was like watching it. I was going, oh please. I was hoping to just be a good guy. I really wanted to be that good guy, especially how we treated poor Wim. know what I mean? Because he looked up to it, and remember that conversation he had about, you know, just get rid of your feelings. You know, when they were saying, yeah, that's what I did, got rid of my feelings. You know, I mean, I'm like, come on, please. But no, he's a bad guy. He really is. And he threatened at that point, he does threaten they will cut them up to little pieces if they didn't do as he says. Oh, man, what do you reckon, Chris?
Well, SM33 would enjoy that.
From limb to limb. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Obviously, we can only compare him to one scoundrel. But everyone says, what's the thing that goes with scoundrel? With a heart, you know? Oh, he never wanted to be evil. He just took. He wasn't evil at all. Han Solo wasn't evil. He just was an opportunist. When you could say George Law is definitely doing things that were. It takes the meaning of scoundrel to a whole new level. A pirate, you know, and it was far much more brutal in every way than Han Solo ever was. And I think overall, yeah, this shows his turn. First, he betrays the kids, then their wits get them back there, and then he can obviously see that, and I think he does actually like the kids, and I think he does care about them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to get anything in between him and his goal. Even if he likes these kids, you know, they will betray him and he will betray them because pirates are, you know, being a pirate's a lonely career. You know, can you really trust anyone in the end?
That is very, very true.
I think, yeah, overall, a really good episode. But that's not the end.
No, it's not. That's not. They managed to fly down and into Alcacran, and it says, and this voice from the supervisor goes, the emissary is about to land.
Greetings, citizens. That it's now the end of your workday because the emissary's here.
Yes, time to stop what you're doing and have a look. And the ship flies in, and everyone who's sitting on the park suddenly has to do a run because the park is actually the landing pad, and it lands. And you notice how it locks in when the Onyx Cinder lands, like it locks itself in the landing gears, and then it lowers itself down to the biggest door you'll ever see in your life. Yeah, I mean. I remember when me and Nicholas were watching it. There's a line in Tron and in Tron Legacy when they're opening that door to Epcot Towers, and they go, "Now that's a big door." And I was thinking, God, they should have said that. I really wish John went, "That's a big door." You know what I mean? But the door opens, and what do we see, Chris? Well, hundreds and thousands of minted credits. Yes, this planet is
hard credits.
Mint. Yeah, gold. Oh, God. How much is there? A lot. And he asks one of the robots, how many vaults are like this on this planet? And how many does he say? He says like over 1,000?
1,333 or something. One off the reference to George Lucas's first project.
1138.
Yeah, so 1,387. That's what they say.
Yeah. So here's the clip when Jod finally sees all the gold he could ever want in his entire life. Let's have a look. Go on then, Jod. What do you see of it? He just can't believe his luck. He's like, what? So much gold, he could probably buy a planet with it.
You know, I think he can't tell if he wants to cry.
Yeah. Is this like a domino effect here? You know, where you take one, it's like, What do we reckon to that, eh?
Yeah,
To
I think he
all
does
that
like
gold.
money.
Yeah, he loves money. He loves money.
I
Yeah.
think that becomes he's from somewhere that has no money at all, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's the thing where he's looking at all this money thinking, I'm sold, you know, I'm rich. I've got everything I ever need now.
Yeah.
He's seeing everything he's always wanted and always needed. But then how does the episode end?
Well, the kids come out and he does tell the droids that these kids just need to be taken back in board the ship. And they're keeping so quiet. And the parents turn up and they hug the parents. And I was thinking, tell your mum quick. But of course, they keep stum. And Jod slowly walks back and he ignites his lightsaber again. I can't remember if he says anything. Does he say anything, Chris?
No.
Yeah.
And
that's when
you hear the lightsaber noise.
And that's where the episode ends. Yeah. I loved it. Thought it was great. Absolutely loved it. Couldn't fault it, I thought. I don't think we've had any filler episodes yet. Doesn't feel like we've had any filler, do you?
Sure. Some episodes do.
Really? Which one so far?
I would say the one that feels like the most filler is the one on Akron, but that I think was trying to set up the mystery more. But I think the plot between the left side versus right side was just a bit like, not that it to me it would have got the same effect with like nobody on the planet versus some people on the planet, but it was very much like that part of the story is something that I'd forget away, but the planet I won't. You know what I mean? It's like, if you even ask me what they were arguing over, some animals, I think.
Yeah, there were. They're warring over some animals. Yeah, they nicked their umpies, didn't they? And he bought them back. They're like, "Hey, war been averted. It's peace again." Because Jod just gave them 2 gold coins. In fact, they could go. Do you think there's vaults on that planet that they don't know about? Then
I don't know. I think they would have been all. It's either that every planet had vaults or only one of the planets had vaults.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Because
know?
I was thinking, well, why don't you just go back to Akron? Akron, yeah, and have a look for their vaults. Because if that's why they're all the planets are secret, because they're all mints. Yeah, but
maybe there was 8 decoys on one actual planet, you know?
Yeah, probably.
And how much gold you need in the universe.
That is very true.
But I think this also, you know, it goes back to the very first episode when Wim was in the detention office and Fern says, I hear that if you don't behave, you'll be taken down to the caves of down below and be forced to work. And it's like the kids obviously make up these rumors and these rumors pass around, but all the parents know about it. They know about the purpose of the planet. They know that it's a mint because once they graduate, they get told.
Yeah, yeah. That's
so
very, very
everybody
true.
knows, but the kids.
Yeah, it's very good. Overall, yeah, I love this episode. I love the one before it as well. I like the God, Jude Law is just so good in this film. It's just so TV series. Yeah, I think this series is one of the best ones that Disney have brought out since season 2 of The Mandalorian, maybe.
I don't know. I would agree. And, you know, I was quickly reading something while we were speaking, and it said in here that John Watts and his writing partner, Christopher Ford, first approached Lucasfilm. What year do you think they approached Lucasfilm?
I'd say 2022, maybe.
2022. So if they approached in 2022, that would mean that within 3 years...
They approached Disney or Disney approached them?
They approached Disney saying, we got this idea for this project. Right? You're saying 2022.
Yeah.
No.
Really? What was it?
Older.
Really?
Uh-huh.
When?
Okay, I know the year.
Go on then.
Guess. You know, come on. 2022. No. Older than that.
2018?
Older than that.
Can't be. How long have Disney?
2017. 8
Bloody
years ago.
hell.
So
Really?
it took 8 years from pitching an idea to getting season 1 of this TV show out.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. God. And how many really awful... But saying that, though, you want to have these
Kids
kids,
would have
would
gone
you?
from 10 years old to 18 in that time.
Yeah, that's very true, yeah. Kids have... Trouble is, that is the other thing as well. If they do decide to go for a second season of this, when is it going to go into production? Because the kids are growing up. You know, kids have growth spurts. You know what I mean? You think, oh, they're no longer kids, sort of thing. But we'll see. I don't really want to talk about the ratings because I've heard about the ratings of the show until next week, till next Sunday when we cover the last part of this series, which I do want to get into a lot, and I think I might watch it that day. Actually, I might. I might see what happens then. But do you know what, Chris? I think that brings us to the end of the show.
It definitely does.
Yeah. So it's been absolutely fantastic being, and we was on time, like Chris said. It was great to talk about the walls, even though there was no news. Sometimes there is, and it pops on news, and then all of a sudden there's nothing. It's very strange, but I would like to say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us for this live stream and who will be probably listening to us and listening to the podcast. Apologies, I've not uploaded the last episode yet, and I probably won't upload this one, but I will get round to upload them onto our audio podcast as soon as I can get a chance, because we're both quite busy. Anyway, so let's give the old spiel. Thank you for joining us on Radio Free Endor. We hope you've enjoyed immersing yourself in the galaxy far, far away. Stay connected with us on social media and be part of our vibrant community. Search for @Radio Free Endor on Facebook, X, Instagram, and on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all our latest episodes, discussions, and exciting news. If you want to dive deeper into Star Wars with us, send your thoughts, comments, and questions to radiofreeendor@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow me, Jamie_R_Burns on X, and Chris.
And Chris.
And you can actually, he did have his
I don't know why that went.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you and have a galactic chat. For all you super fans out there, head over to TeePublic and get your hands on the official Radio Free Endor merchandise, whether it's a t-shirt, hoodie, stickers, mugs, key rings, or mouse mats. We've got you covered. Show off your love for the show and look ultra cool while doing so. And remember, iTunes is still the go-to place to download our show, so make sure you leave us a 5-star review. This means a lot to us, and it can help us reach more people who are hungry for Star Wars content. Once again, thank you for tuning into Radio Free Endor, and may the Force be with you. And we look forward to bringing you with more thrilling galaxy from far, far away. Anything, Chris, you want to leave us with?
I guess next week we'll speak about the finale.
Yes.
And an overview of the show.
Yeah, very, very true. So join us. I think we'll either do it at 8 or 9 because one of our friends, Imperial Pursuit or Imperial? So, yeah, because he's changed his name. Royal Farm Boy, we know him as. He's at work, and I think he comes on. And I don't think he's on just yet, but he's missed it. But he does want to come on into the chat room, so we might just put it up an hour from us UK to America. It's different time zones, of course. But till next week. For the last episode of the Skeleton Crew, I'd like to say thank you and bye-bye. And I have done an outro, so I'm hoping when I hit end stream, it'll play. What do you reckon, Chris? Do you think it will?
50-50.
This is brand new on SteamYard. I don't know. So well, I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it go when I press end stream, it'll click on. So if it doesn't, if it just goes bloop, then, you know, it didn't work. If it does, let's hopefully it works. So it's bye-bye from me. And Chris,
See you soon.
see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.